everyone, in this video wanted to go through how I use Notion as a sales pipeline. So posted out this a Facebook post to see if anybody was interested, and it sounds like a lot of you are interested. So I wanted to go through what I'm doing here in Notion. So this past month I handled about $17 million worth of transactions through Notion, and I've been using it as a CRM. So I want to show you what I'm doing and how I set it up. My goal was to include as much simplicity as possible. A lot of CRMs try to make things complicated. So I'm going to try to make this as quick as possible, cover just some high level things here. But over here on the right, I have a kind of a timeline of what I think would be good to cover in this video. So first of all, why I use Notion over other CRMs. Like I've tried Salesforce, Total Expert, ActiveCampaign, HubSpot, Shape, Zendesk, Excel. I've tried a lot of different things, and the problem that I found with them is they have this weird mix of complexity with a lack of customization. Or you can customize things, but not in the way that you want. And the thing is, every business is different. All these CRM companies are marketing to this very general audience, and you can't tailor anything to your business specifically. So not only that, but kind of a good thing is like the best CRM is a CRM that you use, right? Like people say that all the time. So there's no point in having the world's best CRM if you don't use it. And the reason why I like to use Notion a lot as a CRM is because, I have my business page in here, but then I also have like my personal dashboard. So since I'm always in Notion, I always have access to this, which helps me use Notion more. One quick note here is you'll see this as a copy. So basically what I did is I took my normal dashboard and I copied it. I took out a lot of leads. I put in office character names in here and took out some private information, kind of pared it down a little bit. So you're going to be seeing like a very small fraction of what's normally in here, but how to make sure it protects some private data. So first of all, we have this dashboard. So I have the name of this, but the name of my company is Win the House You Love. So normally it just says, like over here, Win the House You Love. It's a little acronym. And right in here, I just put in something really quick. This is kind of a little theme that I'm focusing on right now. So calm plan, soft focus. You can put in whatever you'd like. But I start off here saying kind of with the preview of what I need to do today. So in this view, basically what I have is all of the clients that I need to reach out to today. You can see the dates right here. So every day when I log in, I see who do I need to reach out to. Now something that you'll want to note is that I am a loan originator. So when I move clients forward through a sales process, what I'm doing is reaching out. I'm kind of touching somebody's file every few days. So it's not a task-oriented job as much as it is kind of a client or relationship-oriented job. So that's why I don't have like tasks in here. I just have people to follow up with. So that's a little bit different than most CRMs. Most CRMs are task-driven. The way I use Notion is not task-driven, because what I found is adding tasks just creates this really weird layer of complexity that causes the friction that makes me not want to do it or use it and implement it in the future. So I can see the names of clients that I'm reaching out to. I also have a couple tags that I'll cover here in a second. So when I log in, I can see what I need to do today. And this CRM is built up of 3 pages, all in this relationships category. So it's clients, which is this database here. It's realtors, and it's quotes. Then I also have a couple other pages I'll talk a little bit about, not too much. I just have some internal roadmaps of things I'm working on, some guidelines that I'll talk about, and then Pulse showing like improvements that I'm working on, numbers, and then voice, which is a cool one that I want to show to you. Not CRM related, but I think it'll be helpful. So first, let's go ahead and dive into a client. So let's do Angela Martin first. So I try to keep this as simple as possible, again, because there's no point in using our CRM if it has all this data, but you don't actually use any of it. So first, I have in when it was added. After that, I have a formula for the age. So how old is this contact? How long has it been in my system? And this is helpful if you have a lot of people you're looking at reaching out to. Who do you need to reach out to first, depending on the age? Either you want to follow up with older people or newer people. So here's the formula in here. Since I just copied this all over into a new Notion page, all of them are going to say 0, which I didn't expect. But after that, I have the status. So again, this is the cool thing about Notion is you can tailor these statuses to what you want. So instead of having those generic CRM statuses like, new lead, nurtured, converted, you get to say whatever you want in here. And so I have a couple different statuses depending on the flow that people go through with me. So they're either a new contact that I haven't reached out to, or they're a contact I'm nurturing. So I've reached out to them, but we haven't made any progress necessarily. Another one is maybe I sent them an application or they're sending me documents, so I'm waiting on the borrower. This next one is waiting on me. So this means that the borrower's done with everything. Now it's all up to me. So this kind of changes the priority. Like waiting on borrower is not as, that file is not as prioritized as this one is, because this one is something that I can actively do. This is something that I can't. I just have to follow up at this stage. Then I have people who are house hunting, so they're approved. People who are under contract, closed. People who aren't ready, in credit repair, or archive. Archive I kind of use as like a trash bin. So somebody who goes with another lender, or they, what's another good example? Maybe it's just someone who reaches out to me and they have a question about something, but they'll never be a client. So have that in there. Then obviously have email, phone number. Here I put in the source. So where did this client come from? What's the general category that they came from? So, YouTube, a realtor, past client, referral from my own network, unknown friend, referral from a friend. So that's in here. I also have the state. And this is nice where you can customize Notion as well. So you get to put in whatever fields you want in here, tailored to your business. What I would recommend is don't overdo it. Only put in the fields that you actually need, like things that you actually need to sort by on a day-to-day basis. These are the only fields that I need to sort by on a day-to-day basis. A loan involves thousands of other data points, like loan amounts and credit scores and income and employment, but there's no point in me putting that in here. I don't need to track that in Notion. I only am using Notion to manage the relationship and not the loan itself. So just because you can customize it to do anything, to do further things, I wouldn't do that. I would just focus on what you need Notion to do, and then use any other software for tracking things. So for instance, we have a loan origination system outside of Notion, obviously, that organizes the loan itself. This just manages the relationship. I forgot to click this off. Hello. All right. Then also have the deal amount. So how much is this deal worth? Referral partner. This is where I can put in who the realtor is. So I can just go ahead and click, maybe this was Tyler Watson, and he's not going to mind that his name is on here. Then this is what separates me using the CRM, Notion as a CRM compared to other CRMs. Like I mentioned before, most CRMs are task-based, meaning that if I reached out to Angela today and I want to reach out to her, let's say a week from now, I would go create a task to maybe call her in a week. Instead, I try to remove all of the complexity around that, because there's no need for me. I don't need to track tasks. I don't need to look at a log of tasks, really. All I want to do is say, when do I need to contact Angela next? So what I'll do is I'll look here in my calendar, and maybe I want to follow up on the 28th. Great. That's it. Now I know when I jump into my dashboard on the 28th, it's going to prompt me to reach out to Angela. Okay, that's it. I don't need to track tasks. I don't need to have them independent of the cards. Just let this page itself be the task that continues to move down the line. This page, this connects to the quotes, and I'll show you that here in just a little bit, which, yes, I do have that we'll follow that in the client-facing websites. And then a quick note, sometimes it's helpful to have like an overhead note of, maybe this person wanted a soft credit pull. So that's helpful for me to know up front. That's a note that I always want to be kind of front and center. Then in the comment section, this is where I do all my tracking for notes. So maybe I say called, left voicemail. Okay. Then maybe I follow up on the 28th and I say called once, let's say 3% down. Hello. Once 3% down. Sent application. Okay, so let's say I sent the application here. So now I'm waiting on her. And maybe I want to follow up again, maybe on the 1st. So that's how I update it. And then on the 1st, when I reach out to her, I can say, emailed, follow up on application. So again, this prevents me from having to go create a task of what I want to do in the future because I honestly don't know. What I want to do is, on September 1st, for instance, to jump in here, take a quick scan and see what can I do to push this forward a little bit. I see what stage we're at. What can I do to push it to the next stage? And I don't want to predict what I have to do in the future through a task. Cool. So over here in the client's view, we can see all of the clients. And then I also have separated a calendar view. So it's basically all those clients just shoved into a calendar. And what's really helpful about this is looking at your workload. So obviously I can see my workload is not crazy heavy for the next week, but maybe it's really heavy for Friday. And you know, right now it's 6:40, so maybe I'm about to head out for the day and I just can't reach out to all these people. So maybe I say, you know what, I'm gonna reach out to Jan today, but I'm gonna take the rest of these people and I'm gonna reach out to them on Monday. And it makes it really easy to start taking a look at what's your workload, who do you have to reach out to today, and what do you need to do to scale that through the rest of the week. So maybe I say, I'm going to reach out to them on Tuesday. And you can pop in, take a quick look, see like, you know, maybe we're just nurturing Roy. So if I need to, I can push him out to Thursday. So that really helps kind of manage the relationship on a high level along with your workload. Most CRMs, when you're doing tasks, you can't, there's no flexibility to do this. You're going into each one and it just feels like chaos, and I see this whole list of like overdue tasks that really stresses me out. So to me, I like to see what people do I need to reach out to today. If I can't reach out to them today, where can I push them in the future to prompt me that I need to reach out to them? Okay, so that's our calendar. I already talked about the profile, age, next contact. I already talked about that. So now let's jump into the quotes section. So this I think is one of the coolest pieces here. Let me go back to clients. Actually, sorry, I'm gonna jump back. So in my job, when somebody gets pre-approved, I need to send them quotes about their potential mortgage. So what I did is I created a separate database called quotes. And in this database, it's just a high-level view of the quotes that I send to somebody. So you could do like proposals, you could do you know, whatever you're sending to clients. It could be project tracking information. This is just a really helpful way for you to have that stored. What I used to do is just send an email to people, and then I have to go digging through my email when they ask me questions about a quote, and that was really clunky. So instead, what I do is I have these pages that have quotes, and then I'll show you the templates here in a second. Templates, we'll cover that here in just a sec. So, high-level view, let's go ahead and open this page. And so this is actually a Notion page that I send to my client. So for instance, we have Creed here. Let's say he got approved for a mortgage. I set up his quotes page. I would actually go in here and share this link with him. So now he has access to this page. It's going to give him all the information about his loan. So it tells him who the realtor is, his maximum purchase price, the loan types he's approved for, if his home is contingent on a sale of another property, seller credits, any notes that I have in here for him, and then the date that it's sent. So then I have this template in here as well, and I'll show you the template again here in a second. I embed a video, custom video for him, and then I have all of his resources here as well. So he has his pre-qual letter, his loan cost PDF, a PDF going through the mortgage process. It goes through his next steps, an FAQ section, and then a quick little blurb about the team that he's going to be working with. So what's really cool about this is you have all of this templated information that you can now share with people when you do, when you're sending quotes or approvals or project information to your clients. So what I do when I have a client, so let's say Jan here, let's say that I got her approved and I want to go ahead and make a quote for her. So what I'll do is I'll go to my quotes and I go and create this template. So I made this template in here that auto pulls in, cover image and a profile photo, and it has all of these templates here. So what I would do is I would go type in her name, Jan Levinson, I think. I would go fill out who she is. So I'm going to connect her to her profile here. I can fill out this stuff. I can embed a video. I can put in a PDF. All of this stuff is here and ready to go. So very quickly, I can put out a ton of information that's really accessible for her. And the cool thing is, since this is a Notion page, it's always updating. So if I ever need to go back in here and update, maybe I need to put in another PDF if she asks for another quote, or I need to change something, I can do that and say, here's a link, it's updated for you, which is fantastic. Another page in here is the Realtors. So these would be like referral partners. For some industries this is important, for some it doesn't matter. But it's always helpful to track other people in a deal. So in here, this is just a quick database. I don't have any of these realtors' contact information in here because I have them all saved in my phone and I don't really ever need access to them. But basically what this does is shows me, what realtors are connected to what clients. And this is great too, for instance, when, maybe have a phone call with Amy next week, and I can open this up and we can now talk about the clients that she's working with. So I could say, yeah, we have Toby and Creed, and I can help her understand where those clients are at. So that is, that's the whole CRM. It's not complicated. You can make this on your own. You don't need me to like duplicate this, or create something for you to duplicate into your own Notion page. It's just a mix of 3 different databases. It's more about finding the simplicity in here instead of doing something that's super complex just for the sake of making it complex. I think what's difficult about Notion is there's so much flexibility that sometimes we don't know where the line is to stop. And you get some diminishing returns if you over optimize. So again, I've been managing $17 million per month in Notion with this setup. You don't need anything more complex, unless you want to, but I think it can kind of take down your efficiency there. So we're done with CRM. I'll talk about 2 extras. So number 1 is this thing that I call Voice. And Voice is where I store, anytime somebody like gives me encouragement or compliment or praise about work, I put it in here, especially if it's from clients. Because what this helps you do is, basically you have a database of the language your clients are using about your services, about your products, and about you that you can now use for marketing or sales copy in the future. For instance, I've been tracking a lot of the YouTube comments that I get that are helpful. And I started noticing this one word, calm, keeps coming up over and over again. And what that helped me do is now I can rename a product that I'm working on, the Calm Buying Planner. That because I'm using the language that these people are speaking. So I have this tracked into here, and I think it's really helpful, not only for when you're developing marketing or sales copy or products or whatever that looks like. You also now have a better understanding of your pain points, the pain points that your clients are going through. And if you're ever feeling like, maybe you had a sale go wrong or something happened, you're thinking, oh man, why am I doing this? This gives you that extra motivation to see, oh, okay, what we're doing here is actually good. There's good work being done here. Something else that you can use, or that I use Notion for, is kind of like a little cheat sheet page. So what's great about Notion is you can have whole wikis set up of information. So you can put in sales scripts, you can put in information about products that you need to look up. I use this when I do pre-qualifications for loans. I have in all the conditions that I load into files. I have forms that I can easily download. I have a whole cheat sheet of documents that I can look at. That way it just makes it easy when I go through deals. I don't always have to be thinking about things. I pull up our loan origination software on one screen, the cheat sheet on the other screen, and I just kind of look and check off things mentally as I go. So, some things that you can add in here, if you wanted to, is like a to-do list template. So you could put a little template in here, and maybe it's a to-do list that you go through with each client. So maybe this is send application, talk about down payments, talk about monthly payment, things like that. And you can have that as a template. So each client you make, you can see progress here. That's something that you could do. And one last note before I log off or end this here, is security. One thing that Notion doesn't have, it's not the most secure. It doesn't have like two-factor authentication and some other standards that would be nice. So, for instance, I work on loans. I'm not going to put somebody's social security number in here or private information. This is secure enough to meet the standards to be able to put in emails and phone numbers, but not for anything more private than that, or that needs more security. So just a heads up on there. It'd be nice if Notion had some more security standards that allowed you to put in more private information, but just something to watch out for. So I hope this helps you. If you're trying to set up a sales CRM, just know that simplicity is better. Being more effective is way better than having something that's bright and shiny and complex for the sake of being complex. So let me know if you have any questions. Thanks for watching.